and get your thick butt on them lights.
Push the button. Nigga, I thought we were using the
Josh, use your sexy biceps to reach over there and get.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Hell no.
Maybe you have to move the light back.
Turn it and then flip it to the back.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's
Yo,
good.
what you gonna do?
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right. I am the ballad in your box, the bullet in the gun, the inner glow that let you know to call your brother son. The story that just begun, the promise of what's the...
It's a dark skin, savage my nigga.
Alright, so what we gotta do first, man?
They gotta subscribe, like, and comment down below
if they're new, and do not forget that post notification bell, because if you do, this is what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen, King?
So we're gonna punch them in the face and make them yell.
And I'm gonna
Second thing I gotta ask real quick, what's your Instagram?
Hey, your boy promised me I know what time it is. Keep it real and simple, just like that.
It's your boy King and
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, and that's your boy Devontae 506 on the beat.
What about you, guys?
And it's your boy Kim the Robot, man. Damn.
And what about you?
That's the side.
Lenovo, IG.
Nigga stupid.
It's like, that's your boy Don Station with a Z, you know that'd be me. I make the A-R to the T, and it's in the back. Check it out.
Check it out. What we got today?
Ooh, it's a horrible story.
Happy Christmas Eve.
But I'm gonna get real animated when I'm talking about Christmas Eve now, baby.
Yes, sir.
It's a Christmas Eve horror story that is animated by none other than my mother boy, Llama Arts.
Yes, sir.
Arts for the farts.
Yeah, but when he crush all the tension, bro.
He really ate all the attention.
Man, it's the Christmas motherfucking month. We're gonna react
So let's
to
get
what's
into
store.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, it's Christmas month, bro. Let's get it.
I know they remix this.
Yeah.
Last year on Christmas Eve, I was working late. I'm 23, I work in New York City and commute home every day on the train. Since I'm one of the younger ones in the office, I got stuck.
That nigga keyboard got no letters on it.
One of the worst shifts, so I wasn't able to get home until 5 o'clock. My family had already left a whole hour earlier to go to my cousin's house, so I had to drive alone. After having a quick snack before the half-hour drive, I got back in my car and put my cousin's address to my phone. Halfway through the drive, it started snowing. I got to my cousin's house around 6 o'clock. It was snowing heavily by this point, and I just made it in time to catch everyone starting dinner. I brought all of my gifts inside and cheerfully said hey to everyone. I stayed until around 11 o'clock. The rest of my family left a little sooner. I stayed an extra half hour or so just to hang out before leaving myself. By the time I was leaving, the ground had accumulated at least 2 feet of snow, and it wasn't even done snowing. The drive home was nightmarish. The roads were hardly even plowed, and I had to drive under 20 miles per hour on most roads. The roads were completely dead at this point though, most likely because everyone was smart enough to go home before the snow accumulated. Eventually I turned...
All I heard in the back is nigga giving annotations and shit.
Everybody was smart enough to leave, and your ass wasn't.
You could drop an ad-lib, bro.
the main road that I'm sure would usually be bustling, but at 11:15 on Christmas Eve night, there wasn't a single car or a single light from the store. It was a
Trying to snap your neck and you fucking hurt yourself.
But the thing is, like, bro, when you're the first nigga on the road, aren't you the nigga that basically creates the road type shit?
But I'm here, but that's probably one of why traffic is there.
That's tough, bro.
Oh,
not cause like the
talk
time
about the highway and shit. I'm like, bro, the first dude like, think about how traffic works, bro. The highway is long as hell.
That nigga must
The
have
first
really wanted to
nigga
go.
in the line is really creating traffic, bro.
flashing taillights of one car. It was parked on the side of the road, and the smoke seeping out from its exhaust with the taillights giving it a red tint. As I got closer, I realized there was somebody next to the car waving their hand in the air. I assumed something was wrong and they needed help. So, me being the good Samaritan I am, I pulled up behind the car. When I opened my door, the guy approached me immediately, barely even giving me time to step out. He was an average-sized man, probably 5'10", 180 pounds. He spoke in a very asking me if I know anything about fixing an engine. I told him I didn't know much about cars. The guy responded very quickly to everything I said. He told me it's fine. He went inside of his car for a second, popped open his trunk, came back out and told me to just wait by the trunk for a second. I had no idea what he wanted me to do. I was really confused. He walked over to the front of his car, and I heard him open the hood. I couldn't see anything he was doing since the trunk was blocking my view, and the loud wind of the snowstorm overpowered any small noises he might have been making. I put my hand on the back of the car and leaned my body in anticipation, when suddenly I heard 3 or 4 quick and aggressive footsteps in the snow behind me before I was pushed into the trunk. The man tried to close the trunk on me, but I kicked my feet up in resistance and held it up. I was able to overpower him and kick the trunk open completely.
My man.
As I took advantage,
That nigga went Bruce Lee on his ass. Why does it look like a blood
Wait,
versus
first
Crip
of all,
type
first
shit?
of all, so first of all,
Santa is
so
the
first
blood,
of all,
bro.
he leaned backwards against the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said he heard footsteps coming behind him.
How
How the fuck did the nigga push you into the trunk?
Actually, the first
How did the nigga
pop the trunk? No, he's.
How did he pop the trunk?
Nah, he popped it. He popped it before, and then he was like,
Yeah,
"Wait
yeah.
by the trunk." And
Yeah.
then he heard. He went to. The
I
hood of
saw
the
in
car.
the beginning. He
No,
said,
but one thing I don't understand is the fact he said he heard footsteps from behind him.
Yeah, how you?
And he pushed them into the trunk.
Hey, bro, we not investigators, bro.
I'm here,
That's
bro.
just weird.
Niggas really just went Sherlock Holmes, bro.
few seconds I had to get out of the trunk, I took out my keys. He tried to grab me now, and I dug my house key right into his neck. He fell to his knees, and his scream echoed down the deserted street. I was in my car and halfway down the road before he could even get up from his knees. A little further down, I called 911 and reported the guy. I came back in 10 minutes to find blue and red lights illuminating the windows of the deserted stores. The police held him until the ambulance arrived for him. I watched the whole thing, and nothing ever felt better in my life. I got home safely half an hour later.
Hold on, bro. Why you stab him, bro?
Because he tried to go for that.
He tried to throw him in the truck,
He
bro.
was trying to throw him.
Nigga, you try to throw me in the
Nigga,
truck,
nigga,
nigga, you
George,
got
you-
to die, my nigga.
Hakeem, nigga, you push the nigga off you. He gets up. Oh, like what are you gonna do?
He
bro?
has
You
no
gonna let
weapon,
the
bro.
grab him back?
Nigga, use your fist, bro.
Bitch, fuck all that, bro.
Nigga, fuck
You
that.
gotta
Nigga,
do
you
it.
try to throw me in the
Nigga,
trunk, nigga. Fuck
Bro,
all that.
you gotta go
This
nigga
nigga
move.
fuck
You
the
ain't gotta
two-
make the nigga bleed, bro, on Christmas Eve, bro. Come
Right,
on,
he
bro.
tryna-
He
Put
trying to
you
throw
in
you
the
in the
trunk,
trunk
bro.
for a couple months, bro.
Bro, you got
You
out
about
the
to
trunk,
miss Christmas,
bro.
nigga.
Your body is free, nigga. Now hit him with the
Bro, it's because he felt fear when he tried to put him in the rear of his car.
That nigga said I took my key out, so I just.
Ah, took him some like yeah. Like nigga, this nigga got his dumb ass.
I'm telling you, that nigga got some Bruce Lee skills going
That
on, bro.
nigga, I wouldn't even think of my key, honestly. I never.
Nigga, I was
Shit,
trying to
nigga,
knock that
anything.
nigga
I will
out.
now. I will now, though.
You nigga,
It's
in
a
the
nine,
moment,
though.
nigga, anything in your hand, it could be a
Nah,
fucking straw.
but you said
tryna
you do
poke
that
nigga
now?
eyeball out.
Yeah, bro. That
But
nigga
now
got
you
that,
a big ass nigga. You would probably just try to knock the nigga.
Bro,
Bro,
listen, bro.
but you was not thinking of no keys, bro. You
Nigga,
fucking
I
try
be
to
trying
beat
to
the shit
fight
out of
that
the
nigga,
nigga,
Bro,
bro.
fuck a
I'll
fight,
put that
nigga.
nigga
If I can
headlock.
knock your ass out with one wing ding ding, nigga, you was out, bro. I'm
Exactly.
not
I'm
gonna go back
put
and
that nigga
forth.
headlock.
I'm not
My
doing that.
family everything. I was still very shaken that Christmas, and this remains possibly the most horrific thing I've ever experienced.
That was horrific. You just fought somebody.
Shit, niggas like that, niggas in the hood die like that every day.
You said that sound like a regular ass story to me.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
The fuck? There's no crazy shit that happened at the end.
Nothing really crazy happened.
Nah, man.
I seen a nigga get done worse than GTA.
I just said, nigga, I just
Y'all heard what happened to Billy Bob? The last motherfucking video. Nigga got kidnapped, never was seen again, bruh. On some
Who's
bullshit.
this sexy bitch?
that would be it for this video, but
Let us know how y'all liked it.
yeah, this shit wasn't even as
That shit
fucking.
It wasn't
all
very deep,
He
nigga.
just
you know
stabbed
what
a
I'm saying?
nigga in the neck. and
So
never
moral of the
felt
story,
sick.
bro, when you get thrown in the trunk, make sure you don't forget to stab a nigga in the neck, bro. Alright?
Always keep a
I
key
said,
on.
first of all, kick him in the shit.
Alright, bro.
Always keep a key.
Always keep a long fingernail.
Always go to the family
I
dinner
say
just
always
on time.
key.
Always
Yeah,
eat
scrap
the
food, my
turkey before you eat the ham.
Bro,
Always
I
eat
leave-
mac and cheese.
then
Don't
I
forget to
leave
eat
the
the
house
cornbread.
at
Don't
11
forget to
when
drink
it's
water
snowing.
when you wake up in the morning. Don't
Save
brush
me
your
a plate.
teeth. Don't forget to play Butcher Balls when you up.
Make sure you guys go ahead and like, share, and subscribe if you're new. God loves you. God bless you. And we
I'm a fucking stunner. Woo! Ass